Hey guys, it's me again. I am gonna be starting a let's play here of a captain. Now, as I mentioned in my class/race overview, or whatever the heck I call it, I mentioned that they could both be played by high elves and humans. But I am going to go with the classic original option of captain. In the form of a human. Ah. These naming options. Say to Rome. Okay. Okay, I'm going to Google a names real quick. Alright, I'll win after I get some customization going here. Get that, set it to blue. Well, of course. Of course it is. Why is it unavailable to players? Let's try Aegis. Somehow that worked. Alright, let's get this party started. I think Aegis is spelled differently than what it normally is, but let's see. Let me Google it real quick. Yeah, okay. It's spelled without the first E in between the E and G. So it's
the chance encounter with brigands upon the road leads to captivity.
So
you awaken with the Ranger Strider before you. As he urges you to act quickly, you realize you have become involved in matters much greater than yourself.
Okay. So, Strider here. As I've mentioned, you'll encounter the members of the Fellowship throughout your journey through this wonderful world of Middle-earth that we're in. Oh yeah, I got a crap ton of crap that I gotta work on. Give me one moment. Oh yeah, they did a promotion a while back where if you logged in between a certain time frame, it would give you these Hallberg of the Isengard or the Isengard Dispeller cosmetic set. Cosmetics are basically where you can. I mean, you'll still wear your basic equipment like equipment outfit, but if you say put these cosmetics here, it'll make it look like you're wearing those instead of your outfit. You see? So, and then ta-da! That's the one with the hooded, and then see if you. Oh, my bad. And there's the regular one. I think I like the regular one a little better. So
Hurry, friend. We must test your will to fight.
So we're gonna practice with Strider. I'll explain the skills momentarily. Oh yeah. Okay. 1 second as I. So when you first boot up the game, this is what the default what's it called? The UI is looks like. But there is a Lotro skin UI setting thing out there on the interwebs. It was JR or Tolkien skins or something, I don't remember. But if you look up Lotro skins, then you should be able to find it real easy. The one I normally go with, I believe, is JRRBGM short, which is glitching right now. Let me try the normal one. Okay. So the one I have here is the JRBGM opaque.
Well done. Let us press on.
Okay. Before we press on, let me show you our the level 1 captain skills. Battle shout, which is a you're like really only one range skill, quote unquote, but it does light damage to the enemy, depending on how much damage your weapon currently has. Right. As of right this second, it does 12 to 17 light damage, and then it puts you in a battle-readied state, which triggers a couple more skills that I'll go over later. And then it increases everybody's melee and tactical damage for 15 seconds. It's got a cooldown of 15 seconds. And then Devastating Blow is one of 2 skills triggered that requires battle-readied state. Upon use, you'll whack your target for some damage, and if you crit with this, it'll trigger a defeat event, which basically powers up some of your skills that you can use later, or during that you have. And it'll increase your outgoing healing modifier and decrease incoming damage of any sort from any source. And it's got it'll trigger battle hardened state, which will allow you to use a skill that we won't get for a long time. And cooldown is 4.2 seconds. Sure Strike, which is a melee attack that cannot be blocked or parried. I believe that if you use it while in a battle readied state, which means like right after you use your battle shout, it'll buff your fellowship and for depending on which trait line you use, it'll do varying effects. And a rallying cry, which heals you and any nearby allies for a decent chunk initially, and then heal over time for the next 15 seconds. And it's got a cooldown of 15 seconds, and is one of the skills that'll become more potent after you kill an enemy. Oh, also, they can use all the armors, and I think later they'll get a passive that'll let them use light shields. And they can use daggers, one-handed axes, clubs, hammers, maces, and swords, along with two-handed axes, clubs, hammers, and swords. And then later they'll get a passive that'll allow them to use halberds. And captains are the only class in the game capable of using halberds.
Here is where we must part ways.
And this is a skill that lets me travel to my personal house. I've got multiple characters on this server. The Landreval server is what I play on. And I use my main to buy that particular house in the Bree Homestead. So that'll allow me to travel to there once I leave the intro area that will spawn into after this intro instance. And then if you join a kinship with a house that'll have a similar skill, but it'll be traveled to kinship home instead. Kinships have like 10 different lifespan ranks. I'm not sure how you get that, but once your kinship reaches level 7, your leader can buy a kinship house. See, there I used my rallying cry after use it with a defeat event. Kinships are basically guilds in this game. Fellowships are groups. Raids are the same, I think, in other games. See, that was easy. See, while the rallying cry isn't super powerful, it can help out at a pinch. Yeah.
A lovely day, isn't it?
So, yeah, there's a sackful of baggins around the corner that we're gonna rescue in a second, and these guys, he and Celadon were captured, and Mundo Sackful Baggins is his full name. He got captured because they think he's a Baggins, a regular Baggins. That's what I remember. Anyways, you're welcome. Look, you twerp. I'm gonna have to ask you to calm yourself. Oh, while we're on the topic, there's a hope dread mechanic in this game.
Back! Go back to the shadow.
If you get hope, it'll increase damage, morale, healing, etc. But if you get dread, it'll decrease health, decrease healing received, increase damage received, and decrease damage dealt. And if it gets strong, it'll -2 skill effect level, what that means. See this red section on the bar? That's the part of your health that gets redded out, I guess. Instead of grayed out, it's redded out.
You will not harm these folk.
And so Omdir has been apparently struck by one of those Morgul blades, kind of like how Frodo did in the movie and book. So
I regret.
Ah, yeah.
Wounded by a Black Rider, the Ranger Umdir escaped with his charges into the wild, making his way back to the village of Archet.
There, Captain Brackenbrook, a retired sellsword, has allowed Strider and his companions to stay and take respite from their cares.
Respite. He says take a respite and while they're showing combat. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thanks, my dude. So yeah, we're going to go to Archit, which is where humans and hobbits spend their introduction phase thingy. Upon completion of the introduction, humans stay in Archit, but hobbits go back to the Shire. They'll spawn in Little Delving, which is north and slightly west, I think, of Michael Delving. It's like real close though.
Thank goodness you're awake. That fellow Aeigis seems very
I'm not
ill.
gonna read these texts. If you want to read them, you can pause the video and read them yourself, but I am not going to, in case you are of the people that don't like that stuff. Oh, the quest guide system. So basically, if your quest guide is, or the location of your quest is outside the radius of this mini map up here, it'll point a yellow arrow pointing in the direction you have to go. If it's inside, then it'll get that ring right there. And if it's, you see the name of the town with that flashing yellow thing.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. It is only a chill. There are too many
Oh,
deeds
I just leveled 2.
all pressing, and none of them easy.
So I'm gonna
Perhaps
equip
you can help,
that
my friend.
piece of
Captain
armor,
Brackenbrook will not heed my warnings.
which looks like that. Kind of silly, but whatever.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
So basically,
This is intolerable.
Strider thinks that they're gonna attack Captain Brackenbrook, is it? And these people are gonna be like, nah, homeboy.
What can I do for you? Greetings.
And at certain vendors, you can repair your equipment and sell whatever you got up in here. There's also a buyback option in case you accidentally sell something you didn't mean to sell, or if you change your mind or whatever.
What can I do for you?
But anyways, hey Strider, they don't believe us.
Alas for peaceful folk everywhere. It is an enormous task to convince them that evil people with evil intentions will commit evil deeds. Before you try to fight, you must learn what skills you may from the trainer.
Ah, trainers.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Used to everybody had to use trainers. I think nowadays subscribers do not, whereas non-subscribers still do. So basically all we gotta do is just battle shout and then whack it with the
What do you need?
devastating blow. So that was easy. Give me a new sword. I prefer swords on my human characters. Yeah. And some elves.
Do you feel confident in what you have learned?
Hobbit, it depends on what class I play. Usually I play burglars, so I'll just go with daggers. And dwarves, I'll probably stick axes on there.
Dear my poor old friend. A shadow has crept over him.
So now we're gonna assist this ding dong.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
So anyways, gonna carry on with the carry on. It'll be fun. So now I gotta go deal with the Calder Cobb over here. So yeah. Here we go. There he is right there. With Dirk Mudbrick.
Well, well, if it isn't the rumor monger.
Yeah, he don't like us very much. So now we gotta take out wolves. And we also have to gather Kingsfoil leaves to treat Andrea's wound. And search atop Bronrui's Folly for the source of the wolves. Bronrui's Folly is this big old gigantic set of ruins right here. King's Foil, Aeigis. So yeah, y'all already know what that is from the movies and books. If you don't, then it's basically a plant growing naturally that helps in the healing process. And we won't have any now, but there'll be potions that we'll get that and basically they have Aeigis in their name. So basically it's implied that all potions have Aeigis in them, and if you choose Scholar as your crafting profession, then well, it's Historian, but it has Scholar in it, and basically you have to make. They make potions, and basically you have to. I think one of the ingredients, which now you can get from like the vendors in crafting halls, but I don't know if you can find it like out naturally out in the wilderness. Don't see why you wouldn't be able to, since we just found some around this ruin. But whatever. Don't mess around with my scholars too much. I mean, I tried my best to level them up, but it takes a long time. And I'm not sure which crafting thing I'm gonna choose for this guy. Whatever crafting I do, I'll do off screen so that way you don't bore people. And if you want to see it, put it in the comments. I mean, and I'll probably get to it at some point, but it's long and tedious.
Impossible! A weakling like you defeated the Wolf Master?
Oh, spoiler alert, he is a traitor. So he'll join our friendly neighborhood Blackwold when they decide to launch their invasion. Hey, Strider, homeboy back there gives me an uneasy feeling.
Calder Cobb is a traitor. Danger has found you earlier than I predicted.
So, see, we got a couple potions. 2 morale potions and then 2 power potions. See, he says Aeigis in the name, so there we go.
I cannot decide which is more dangerous right now. Calder Cobb's treachery, or the ignorance of Captain Brackenbrook.
Both are equal, I guess. Hey, what you know?
Oi, you there! Let me go! Calder Cobb can vouch for me!
Greetings.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Jailer here is on our side, apparently. Like, hey, ding dong.
How can you say this? Calder Cobb has been loyal to me since he was a boy. I suppose it would be wise to investigate your claim.
Oh dear, looks so changed since last night.
Hey, you there! I'm hungry!
So, the main storyline of the game is in Epic. It's called the Epic storyline. I'm currently doing the introduction of that, and then there's multiple side quests that you can get. Oh, I got my first new skill. It's called Cutting Attack, which will deal a decent amount of damage initially, and then some cause a bleed, which will do some damage over time. So there's that. So anyways, gonna continue on down this way. Okay. Well, in this area, we'll have to collect boar meat from boars for Mr. Hunger over there. So I guess, if we must. So halfway there. Oh, can we set up a trait line? No, it's not unlocked, I guess. I think it unlocks at 6. And you get yeah. In order to trait your traits, you have to get trait points. Most of them will come from you leveling. That there will be they start giving you trait points every odd level, starting at 7.
A stranger, eh? You're the best thing that's happened to us all day. Our best hope is to get help from Combe, our neighbours. They will not let our chat fall to brigands.
Would you do something for me?
And there are others where you have to complete quests. They still have the legendary books from back before the trait line. These trait lines started getting set up. Which upon, and then you have to get like various, like 8 different pages from like various mobs around the world. There's three books per class. And then upon completion of each book, you'll get 1 trait point. There is a, well, back when I said quests, I meant class quests. And then I think there's a deed where if you do a certain amount of epic quest line in the, like if you do like 6 or so books of epic quest line in Moria, it'll.
This cannot be. I must write to Brackenbrook at once.
It'll
How can I be of service?
give you a trait point.
Greetings, friend.
I think there's an epic quest line somewhere, or if you finish it, you'll get a trait point. In Moria, if you get like a kindred status with one of the factions, there's 2 factions. I forget the full name, but one ends in guard and one ends in miners. I think if you get to like max rep with the guard, I think it is, you can purchase a book at one of the vendor reps up there, and it will give you a trait point. And then each class has a some class quests that'll be at 15, 30, 45, and 58. So the 15, 30, and 45 ones will be here in Aeigis. Let's see if I can find it. Which is this area right here. It's basically everything west of Misty Mountains, Moria, that sort of thing. And then Rovanon is basically everything east of the Misty Mountains. And basically the 15, 30, and 45 ones will happen all up in here, and the 58 ones will happen towards the end of Moria. So it'll be a while before we get all that done, because we're just starting, obviously. So, and I think I mentioned this in one of my previous Lotaro videos, but level cap is currently sitting at 130, and we're only level 4. So, we're gonna be here a while. And, roar! So we'll examine that. Get my heal going. Probably should have done that earlier, but oh well. Better late than never. Old blood test. I think there used to be a quest back before they a long time ago before they revamped the intro area that had you go kill him. But that's not a thing anymore. It has been for years at this point. I forget when they revamped the intro area. It's been a while. So I'm not entirely sure why that the NPC is still there, but whatever. If you want to go kill it, fine. Get free experience and whatever loot. But anyway, so yeah, the Black Wolves cut our supply line off from Coombe. So basically, we're on our own, guys. What are we going to do?
Greetings, friend.
Oh, I forgot to equip that. My bad. Usually all the junk items that you get in this game can either be sold for a load of money, or you can. I think there's task boards around Middle Earth that'll give you some experience in money. I don't know how much money it is compared to actually selling it in the vendor, but gives you more experience either way. I don't know if it gives you gear or not, so you can probably look that up on Google. So, and here's the deed log where and then there's multiple tabs. This one's class, race, and epic, but it's also got rep in there too. And Aeigis, which, as I said, it was everything west of the Misty Mountains. So there's Breeland, Shire, Aridluin, Lonelands, North Downs, Trollshaws, Misty Mountains, Evendim, Angmar, Ferochel, Eregion, Inenwaith, Dunland. Then in Rovanon we got Lothorian, Moria in general, Moria Lower Deeps, Moria Central Halls, Moria Upper Levels, Southern Mirkwood, Great River, Eastern Rohan, Wildermoor, Western Rohan, Strongholds of the North, the Dwarf Holds, Vales of Anduin, and then Gondor, Western, Central, Eastern, Old Anorian, Far Anorian, March of the King, the Waste, and then Mordor. We got Imlad Morgul and Gorgoroth. The War. So what is that? Like you do PvP? Yeah. PvP used to be all the raids, but it's kind of died down since instances, basically. Oh, so basically all the epic instances and whatnot. And skirmish are basically instances where you do like a variety of objectives.
This will do nicely. Gives me something to munch on for a bit, at least.
Lovely. This is sure to cheer on dear right up. This tea will help on dear feel better. I just know it.
Oh, and then there's a guardian just starting out.
I thank you, but I have not the stomach to drink this now.
Did my tea perk him up? I knew it would!
What was the thing? I don't remember. If I remember later, I'll mention it, but...
What have I done?
So basically, he just realized that he was a dingbat.
You cannot fathom just how wrong I have been.
Hey, boss man, what do we do?
Do not despair. You have done well.
Okay, so Captain Brackenbrook has a son called John Brackenbrook, and he got exiled to the Hunter's Lodge, I think it was. Yep. So it's basically over this way. Now this is the quest log where all your quests are stuck in and tracked, and then you can have up to 5 quests on the tracker that'll be over here on this side. Oh, and I forgot to mention, up here is where like all your basic character info is displayed. So you got your character's portrait, current level, name. This green bar is your health. This blue bar is your power, basically. And the right number is your maximum, and then the left number is what you currently have. And then any buffs or debuffs will be drawn down here. This one is a 10% virtue experience gain. And then here is the chat log. In general, which means it's usually used for like chatting it up with your fellow players. Combat basically records damage, healing on you and or your enemies or friends or whatever. IMS basically means private messages, so anybody that sends it, if you or your friend or whatever send a private message, it'll show up here. And then sessions, so this will be like a list of characters, people you are chatting with in the messages. You can click on each one to switch between, and then usually it'll have like an X that'll cancel it. That'll cancel on that particular conversation. Oh, and if you want to pull up the one of your quests in the tracker here in the log, you just click that ring icon. This is the character page, by the way. It has all the slots for your equipment. It'll show you like your stats over here. Then you can click here for your title. Oh, and I unlocked several titles, and including the warrior, which I'll make active. And basically, if you hit level 5 without dying, you'll get the wary, which is like stupid easy to do. I mean, how do you die before level 5? Like, honestly. Oh, hey, John.
I presume you're here to bring me ill news from town.
Yep.
Calder Carver showed his true colors at last.
Correct, sir. So we gotta go this way. Basically, we gotta whack some of the brigands to death, and then gather some information about the Blackwall raid that they're preparing to launch upon our good neighborhood over here. Speaking of neighborhoods, I heard that the new Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks is out. I have not seen it, so please do not spoil for me or anybody who has not seen it in the comments. If you want to review it, please give it a spoiler-free review. I've heard good things about it, so I'm hoping that'll carry on. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways. So anyways, made it to the stronghold. Now I'm gonna mess some stuff up. Captain's great, but sometimes they're long loading, long cooldown, long skill cooldown. Kind of slows down the pace of combat a little bit. Alright, that's 3 out of 4. Oh, hey, look! That suspicious. It looks like some plans left wide out in the open. What am I going to do? I guess I'll just return it to the proper individuals. Yes, I just yawned at this black hole fucker. Don't ask me. So yeah, this is the skill page. It'll show it. There are 4 different tabs. Active basically means all the skills that you click: the combat, heal, travel, whatever. Passive basically shows all your passive skills here. Fellowship, don't have any yet, but it'll show you like what fellowship skills there are, which ones you completed. Then mounts basically will show you like all your mounts that you have, like goats, horses, ponies, etc. Horses can be used everywhere except Moria, and then goats can be used wherever the heck you want. But the only goat I have, I think, is the Dusky Nimblefoot goat, which only has a health of 60. So obviously I'll be avoiding using that outside of Moria. Then I got a couple of horses that I can unlock when I get the riding skill. The riding skill can be bought like super cheap off the Lotero store. It's like 95 turbine points or something.
Good work, my friend. I believe there is hope for us yet. We only need a strategy.
Okay. Subscribers like myself can get the skill for free at level 20 after completing a quest, which basically, it's where is it? It's up here in the northern Bree Fields at a Hen Station Farm. Basically, you have to you get the quest and then you have to take a lap around the farm within like, I think it's like 3 minutes or something. And you're not allowed to use any speed boosts or whatever. But you can definitely do it in the time allotted if you don't screw around or whatever. Let's see. Here's the entrance. So yeah, if you're a subscriber, you can do that. If you're not a subscriber, then obviously you have to. I think you have to basically just get it in the store. If you are a subscriber, you can still get it in the store and have it like earlier than 20. Like I said, it's super cheap, like 95 turbine points or whatever. And you can get like turbine points, like super, like from like doing deeds in game. So you don't have to actually spend any real life money, but there'll be butt kind of grinding. So. I'm now level 6. I didn't mention this in my class overview when I talked about the captain, but the captain can call 3 heralds, and each herald does like a different thing. Herald of War increases damage dealt by everybody around said herald. This includes yourself. And then the Herald of Victory reduces power costs to everybody. And then Herald of Hope increases mitigations to everybody. And then I don't know when, but later on down the line, you can also summon a archer to help you, or an archer. Don't you grammar Nazis dare type in the comments. I saw you typing, that's why I corrected it. But yeah, later on, I forget when, but later on you can get an archer to help you with damage. Oh, and now we can get some specialization going. I think I mentioned it in the class overview video, but 3 lines: red, yellow, blue. The red lead the charge. Basically focuses on dealing damage and assists and buffs your group's ability to deal damage. Leader of Man, which is the yellow line, basically focuses on tanking and buffs defenses, and then Hands of Healing focuses on healing and helps with healing and stuff for their fellowship. Usually when I solo, I go lead the charge, so I'll do that. And you get an initial skill called Shadow's Lament. It used to do weapon-based damage, but now it does light damage. And it also trigger battle readied. And let's see, what is it? Okay, and now that I'm in the red line, if I use Sure Strike while battle readied, it'll trigger a relentless attack on my fellowship, which increases crit rating, physical and tactical mastery rating, and outgoing healing for 45 seconds. So
a dead end will surely work in our favor.
okay, so now we are on the final quest of the intro series. I don't have any other quests, but if you do and want to complete them, now would be a good time, because they'll go away once you leave. But since I don't have any, I will not have to worry about that. I do apologize for the length of this video, but I just figured I'd get
John
the
Brackenbrook and his hunters
intro
had
out
reached
the
the
way.
outskirts of Archit to find it already ablaze. A desperate struggle to save their village was about to begin. Hopefully, you have arrived in time.
I will pull out my Herald of War, which increases you and your fellowship's damage output by 2% from all sources. And all sources meaning melee, range, and tactical.
We have no time to lose.
Tactical is basically the quote-unquote magics of this game.
We must save Ned.
Actually, I don't think Shadow's Lament triggers a battle ready just yet. Okay, so if we spend 5 trait points in this lead charge, then it'll trigger a battle ready. Okay, but it's not going to at this time.
Our chat must still be saved.
So I apologize for any confusion, but like I said, every odd level starting with the next one,
more up ahead.
7, will give us trait points, and there's also level 15 quest that'll show up here soon. And, we're about halfway there anyway.
We must find my father before it's too late. Look! Otley's ahead! All must not be lost! Well met, friend. Is the crafting hall safe? Although the mad badger burns, I still hold out hope.
Alright, we will be entering the last phase of this thingy here in a second.
Father! I knew you would survive.
Alright, here we go. Final phase. Here we go. We've got a couple waves of 15 bats and then...
No more time for games. We come for the Ranger.
And in terms of other games like WoW, the captain's closest comparison would be the Paladin. Not sure how accurate that comparison is, but that's probably the closest. In case you were wondering. Oh, Calder and Cobb is dual wielding. No, captains can't dual wield. They can only two-hand or sword and board.
Father! No!
Oh, he is a signature. So his picture, he's got more health, better defenses, and he's a little bit of information up here. It's surrounded in an orange ring. It has orange like protruding out of
Misery has
it.
befallen us. My father.
With the Black Wolves' attack foiled, the people of Archet have begun to rebuild. Yet not all hurts are so easily mended.
Nope.
The fate of the Ranger Amdir remains uncertain and may have dire consequences for Breland. But hope remains that he may yet be saved.
One can only hope. So now we'll set out into the world proper. Basically, humans, like I said, will spawn at Archet, as you see here, and their prologue consists of tracking down Amdir. So yeah.
How can I be of service?
Oh, so now I've got Novice, which basically unlocks a whole bunch of stuff, and I have what's known as a milestone skill, which basically allows you to return to one bound milestone, which looks a lot like this for most of the game until you get to like Rohan. That'll start branching out a little bit, but basically it'll teleport you back right next to the milestone. It does have a 1 hour cooldown, but I think there some stuff in the store that'll let you shorten that cooldown. So yeah.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Yeah, buttload of stuff. Oh, I forgot to equip that ring, derp.
Greetings. What do you need? How can I be of service? Would you do something for me?
But, anyways, I'm going to cut it off here, and next time we shall carry on with that. Hold on, let me accept this quest, then I'll cut it off.
Will you help me?
How can I be of service?
Alright, I'll cut it off now. Thank you so much.